welcome to Fox Valley Today. I'm your host, Ann Vickery. Joining me on the set today is Party of Three, and I'd like to introduce Lily Kosman, Steve Pesatelli, I'm close, right? Bill Fritsch, who is the drummer, and Brian Beer, just like the name, enjoy one, who is on the bass guitar. All of these folks are going to be, are in their 11th year of entertaining at the Fox Valley Older Adult Center for the Salem Lutheran Church Cabaret Fundraiser, which raises money for the youth groups and also for the church. And we're going to open, this is your real treat today, is you're going to hear more of them and less of me. So that's going to be your treat. We're going to open up with the song. We're going to have 3 or 4 songs today. So I want you to sit back and enjoy Party of Three.
Gemini shines 2 stars, 1 light. Gemini shines on me tonight. Gemini shines 2 stars, 1 light. Gemini shines on me tonight. Stars can't speak, but I hear them now, telling me what and telling me how. Stars can't see, but they're looking down, down on what I'm doing now. Can't you hear me when I'm crying?
Party of 3, audience of 1.
Thank you.
Very, very good.
Thanks.
You know, I was just impressed to hear that you guys have been together. I mean, you've been playing for this organization and this party for 11 years. And that's a long time for a local band to stick together. Usually people wander off, you know, or they get into a big fight over something. And, you know, I think that's pretty impressive. So, and I think it's amazing that you guys do this for the church and for the community, and really, you know, for some of the mission work that you do, you're actually doing it in a broader spectrum for the world. And Lily, you are more than just a singer. You are very involved in the church. Tell us a little bit about what you do there.
Sure, thank you. My husband Scotto and I are in our 13th year as youth leaders at Salem Lutheran Church in Sandwich. At present, we encompass 3 churches, the youth from 3 churches. So we have the kids from Salem Lutheran, the kids from St. John's Lutheran in Salmonaught, and the kids from Bethany Lutheran in Leland.
Okay.
So we have a combined bigger youth group, which is a lot of fun. This big fundraiser is one of our biggest for our trip that we take every 3 years with the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America to a big city, a domed city, so a place that has a big uncovered, closed-in stadium.
Right.
And we join up to about 37,000 other Lutheran youth leaders and kids.
This is a party for kids.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. So we take these kids every 3 years to a different city, and the purpose of going is to educate the kids in world issues, in issues in the United States, in local issues, things that they might encounter, such as even human trafficking, how
Okay.
that happens, what happens. And then also we go to these big cities and we do service. So for instance, we have been to San Antonio, we've been to New Orleans twice, we've been to Detroit, and this year we're going to Houston in late June and early July. So when we go to these cities, we break into groups of 10,000 kids per day or so, 10 or 12,000 per day, and we go out in the city and we do sort of Habitat for Humanity work.
Okay.
When we were in New Orleans a few years after Hurricane Katrina, the combined hours that we did equaled the number of, it would have taken the city workers in New Orleans 90 years to do the work that we Lutherans did in 3 days' time.
Of picking up of the trash and the garbage and cleaning
Right.
up the homes and
Right.
doing all the things that needed to be done.
Yes.
That is very impressive. And what a great service work that is for the young people.
Yeah.
Now, are you saying Houston just undergoing that terrible hurricane and
Yeah.
flooding? That's kind of the same type of thing that you're going to be doing again?
Yeah, and it gives me goosebumps because this trip to Houston was planned 3 years ago. So when we left Detroit, we knew that we'd be going to Houston. And the timing couldn't be better.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
here we come to help.
And Detroit, you worked up there, a city that's been under terrible stress.
Yes.
Financial difficulties, people who just, and in some cases tore down 40 homes in a 3-block area just to get rid of them because they were just drug havens and of no use.
And as a matter of fact, the house that we worked on when we were there, we couldn't go in because it had been sort of condemned on
Right.
the inside, but we were the people on this block in Detroit, it was sort of like a few block radius. They were trying to clean up their neighborhood and keep it that way.
That's right, safer. If
Yes.
you can keep it clean, you keep it safer.
Yeah, so the house that we went to, we were cleaning up the yard, trimming trees, bushes, finding the sidewalk again under all the weeds, cleaning out a garage, and actually, we found a bag of drug paraphernalia.
Yeah.
There were bones, sort of like there'd maybe been some kind of an animal ritual in the garage.
Yeah.
And the police came by and said, "Oh, they found a dead body in this garage a couple of years ago or
Yeah.
a year ago." Yeah, so it was quite an experience for our kids to see that. Now I have to say, also we were safe. We were.
Yeah, and
it's not that we were
understand that, but
unsafe.
what it does is it grounds those kids to know what else is out there. Your
Absolutely.
whole life isn't living in the lovely towns of Plano, Sandwich, Leland, where these small communities where you are loved, people watch out for you, you are cared for in your community. That's a very, very difficult thing. I want to move on to some of the brighter things. You guys are going to have a silent auction. Tell us a little
we
bit
are.
about that. I mean, are you going to? I know this is one of the products that you sell, right? And
It
you're
is.
donating Nerium.
Yep.
Age-defying night cream. Well, I'll tell you what, I could make you see how defying it could be on me.
It's amazing how it works. I won't go into the spiel, but definite results. So yes, we have a silent auction every year that has just some tremendous items. We have homemade, beautiful woodworking that people do, jewelry, people donate gift baskets. For instance, here's a gift basket donated by Kristen Maselli, who is the owner of Get Pumped Up Training Studio in Hinckley. So she has donated a water bottle, some trail mix, and a gift certificate for some personal training hours. And she's amazing at what she does. So this is just an example of the kinds of things. People will also donate maybe a bottle of wine and a restaurant card. Pizza Hut donates, Rosati's donates, a lot of area businesses donate.
Well, and I think, you know, anytime you're doing something that the churches are going to be working with their kids, and you're going to work, you're going to go outside your community. We always have stuff to do around here, but I think taking kids into a broader situation where they can see sometimes what the real world is for other people is going to be very, very important for them too.
Yeah.
Now I have to ask you other gentlemen. Now, Steve, I mean, you don't have to admit to anything, but do you go to church over there? Do any of you guys go to church
Yes.
at the Salem
Yeah, I
Lutheran?
do.
You do?
In fact,
Okay.
we have a band at church also that includes a few other folks. It's called Uproar.
Okay.
So we play there occasionally and play like Christian rock music. There's some really good music out there.
More and more of the churches are moving to that, because you know what? It's like anything else. If the churches can get the kids to come, the parents will follow. You know, it used to be the parents would drag the kids to
Right.
church. Where I go to church, the kids drag the parents. And it has turned around. Bill, you've been playing the drums for how many years?
Since I was like 8.
Is that right? You
Yeah.
started out on some coffee cans or what?
No, I started band in 5th grade.
Did you? No kidding, and you stuck with it.
Yeah, it's been my hobby.
Yeah,
my
good
whole
for
life.
you. And how about you, Brian?
Started with the accordion at like 6.
And you and Myron Florin from
Yeah.
Lawrenceville?
I was poster on the wall.
Yeah, I bet you do. Listen, they're gonna sing another song, and then we're gonna go to a commercial break. So sit back and enjoy it.
Tall and tan and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes a walking, and when she passes, each one she passes goes, ah. When she walks, she's like a samba that swings so cool and sways so gentle that when she passes, each one she passes goes, ah. Oh, how he watches so sadly. How can he tell her he loves her? Yes, he would give his heart gladly. But each day when she walks to the sea, she looks straight ahead, not at him. Tall, tan, young, lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes a-walking, and when she passes, he smiles, but she doesn't see. Oh, but he watches so sadly. How can he tell her he loves her? Yes, he would give his heart gladly. But each day when she walks to the sea, she looks straight ahead, not at him. Tall, tan, and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes a-walking, and when she passes, he smiles, but she doesn't see. No, she doesn't see. No, she just doesn't see.
We'll be right back.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
We'd do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org.
Your son wants to get a cat, but you're allergic. Do you A, prepare yourself, B, make the best of it,
C squared equals
25.
Good job.
or C, find a loophole? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Welcome back to Fox Valley Day, and joining me is Party of Three. We're going to open up with another one of their songs, so sit back and enjoy.
When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case, I could offer you a warm embrace to make you
aren't quite as old as some of us. That's an old Bob Dylan song, which I just happened to hear the other day.
Is that right?
Like so freaky that you were playing. I mean, you've done that a couple other times when
Yeah.
you've been on, but
We like
I
it.
just heard that the other day.
Yeah.
They were doing some tribute to Bob Dylan. That's great. Thank you very much. So let's talk a little bit more about your cabaret coming up. Let's talk, we got live music. What else we got going on over there?
We have raffles, we have live music, well, 50-50 raffles.
Oh, now those are always popular.
Yeah,
you know.
50-50
Just
raffle.
keep throwing in those $5 bills.
That's right. Silent auction with a ton of great items. We have a door prize giveaway to a weekend up in Lake Geneva.
Oh, that would be fun. I could use that.
Yeah. Let's see. We have live music. We have free appetizers and desserts. Free coffee and punch, and then there is a cash bar. And the proceeds from our cash bar the proceeds go to the Fox Valley Older Adults Organization.
Now, the thing we haven't discussed, how much are the tickets?
$15 a piece. What a deal.
That is a steal.
I know, 3 hours of live music and dancing. Did I say dancing?
But you're not having a meal. It's going to be appetizers,
Correct.
right?
And desserts.
And, you know, kind of a grazing kind of night where you just, and so who's fixing the appetizers and the desserts? The gals at the Fox Valley Older Adults?
No, our congregation donates them.
Oh,
we all
you know
we
what?
all bring stuff.
And you don't know how good some of those Norwegian cooks are.
That's right. Church
No.
food, church basement food.
Lutheran potluck.
Right.
That's right. Lutheran
But
potluck.
Promise there'll be no white casseroles.
No, it's all finger food.
All finger
And there's
food.
plenty. I have
Yeah.
to say 3 times. There's plenty.
Kringla, lefse, chocolate chip cookies, chocolate cake, you name it, it's going on. Well, this is a great thing. Salem Lutheran Church, and you do the Leland when your youth group.
Yes,
has
our
to come
youth
by.
group is called
And
3 in 1.
And how big of a youth group do you have?
We have probably 15 to 20 kids who
Okay.
are active in it, and we are taking 12 of them to Houston in the summertime.
And so, are you flying down or driving
We
down?
drive. We like the road trip.
Yeah, you like the road trips, and and Houston. Let me tell you, I spent a lot of time in Houston when I was working, and that July weather can be pretty brutal.
It's hot.
Yeah, it is. But you know what? Again, kids are up to that, and they can do it. Now, let's talk a little bit more about some of the things that you're gonna be doing over there. This is an annual event, and how many years has that been going on?
This is our 11th year for the cabaret.
Oh, okay, 11th year for the cabaret. How long have you guys been together?
Well, longer than that.
See, I thought I was mixed up. I thought that was 11 years that you've been together, but this is the 11th year for the cabaret.
Well, Steve has had his band Red Horse for a lot of years, more than 11.
2002, I think, is when it started.
Yeah, and I joined 11 plus years ago into Red Horse, and then probably 6 years ago or so, I formed my own band called Party of 3.
Okay.
With these guys.
That's
so
right.
These guys are all in Red Horse, and then I have Party of 3, and they're all in Party of 3 with me.
Okay.
So it's just sort of a difference of the set lists and the places that we play, which is kind of what the difference is, although we have a lot of overlap in our music.
In what you do, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good because you're all familiar with one another. Let's talk a little bit about some of the more recent and some of the stuff that you do outside of this particular trip you're taking. You do quilts?
We have a woman in our church, Irene Yingling, who makes these gorgeous hand-done quilts that we send all over the world for refugees.
Okay. And now tell us, you've been to Detroit, you've been to Louisiana, or to New Orleans. Where else have you been?
San Antonio.
San Antonio. And
So San Antonio was the first one in 2006. In 2009, we went 2009 to New Orleans. In 2012 to New Orleans. In 2015 to Detroit, and then this year to Houston.
okay, now how about some of the mission work that goes on within the church?
Salem Lutheran is a very active serving church. We do things worldwide. We've taken trips to Peru. There have been multiple trips in the United States to what we call a work camp, where you go and do service work like Habitat for Humanity. We've been to Montana, we've been to West Virginia, we've been to New York State, we've been to Michigan.
I see you were up in Minot, North Dakota when they had that big flood of the Red River, right?
Right. And that wasn't youth, that was actually a group of adults that went up to help with the flood relief.
Yes.
We also do local help. We've cleaned up parks in Plano and Sandwich. We've painted park buildings in Sandwich and Plano. We've also painted a house and a garage for a resident of Sandwich who was having some difficulty. So we keep it local, we do statewide, we do countrywide, and we go around the world too.
You know, I think, you know, for you, Lily, and your husband to dedicate that kind of time to give back to the community and to share your time with the kids, that is so, so, so important.
No, thank
that
you.
these kids can see good leaders, and they'll turn into good leaders by your example.
Thank you.
Listen, we're going to probably get ready to close up. We might have a minute or so, but I'd like you to kind of, I want to make sure we get this song in. So what's your next song?
Yeah, this is a song off our first CD. It's an original called Kamahaya. Kind
Okay.
of a Cajun kind of thing.
Well,
Left my mama in the bayou when I was 10 years old. Getting me pound of crawdad down at the fishing hole. Daddy, he a sailor, never he at home. Left my mama many years ago, now she's all alone. Come a hey, come a higher, come a higher, come a hey, come a hey, come a higher. You know that I can't say. Once I had me a woman friend down in New Orleans. First she took my loving, she was my Cajun queen. One day at the Mardi Gras, she went out on her own.
Bye-bye.
She left me like a hurricane, she left me all alone. Come a hey, come a higher, come a higher, come a hey, come a hey, come a higher. You know that I can't stay. Once I had me a hound dog, named him Old Boy Blue. He jumped into the river, that hound dog left me too. Come a hey, come a higher, come a higher, come a hey, come a hey, come a higher. You know that I can't stay. Come a hey, come a higher, come a higher, come a hey, come a hey, come a higher. You know that I can't stay.
yay! That was cute and fun.
Thank
Yeah. Well, very good. And again, for all of our listeners and viewers, February 10th at the Fox Valley Older Adults for the Salem Lutheran Church Cabaret.
6:30 to 9:30.
Okay, and tickets are $15. They're going to have live music, appetizers, the beverages of your choice, silent auction, door prizes, and raffles. And all of the money that they raise for this is going to go into their mission work throughout the community and throughout the larger organization and the youth group, which I think all of us realize, and some days we all complain about these kids, but these kids are getting some real world experience and some really, really great examples. So get out and support this organization if you possibly can. I'm sure if you can't go, if you'd like to send a check to the Salem Lutheran Church to help them out for this whole goal, that would be very much appreciated. And thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much to
Thank you.
Party of Three
Thank you.
and
You're
their
welcome.
band. We'll see you next time.